Welcome to PHP Podcast. I'm Mike.
And this is Orlando, and it's time for another Monday mini-sode.
Monday Mini. Yeah, we love our Monday Minis. They are a great time for us because it's a time for us to give a very specific, we're focused, and it's short, right? If you listen to our long form podcast, we're talking for an hour about a lot of different things, but here we get really into the nitty gritty on one thing. And today we're going to be talking about how to list faster on eBay. So how can you make sure that you're listing, optimizing that time? Because time is money. And I know time isn't money, but time can be exchanged for money. And you don't want to be spending more time for less money. And we're going to help you make more money by listing faster on eBay.
That's a mouthful.
That was a mouthful.
Okay. So
that's what happens when you ad lib. I should start scripting this stuff.
It's all good. It's all good. Now, we've said this many times, but grouping similar items. Right. So I do a lot of clothing. So I will list all my Hawaiian shirts at one time instead of going Hawaiian shirt, jacket, vest, pants. Like it just gets complicated when you do that. Right. So your pictures, you got to adjust every single time. Your listings, you got to adjust every single time. But if you just do similar items all at once and you batch them, it's a lot easier.
Yeah. And you can do categories too, especially if you're newer starting out. And so you might be like, but I don't have 100 pairs of shoes to list right now. Well, maybe you say, okay, today is clothing day because the setup is similar. So yeah, if you've got enough Hawaiian shirts to do that, but if you've only got, 2 Hawaiian shirts and 2 jackets and 1 dress, then maybe you lump those things together. And then the next day you do hard goods, right? It's going to be in a different light box. The way I take pictures and write descriptions is different. So you can still group similar, even if you're not lucky enough to have an inventory where you can do, today I'm doing all of the whatever type of toys or all these video games, but you can still say, all right, today is the hard good day, or today is the clothing good, or today is and it's going to be easier by grouping it as opposed to, trying to jump all over the place. It gets hard.
Yeah, it gets tough. Now, the other one, I wouldn't have recommended until the item specifics really hit hard on eBay, and it's do sell similar. Right. So what that means is you find an item that is, when you're looking up comps, you're looking at how much it'll sell for on eBay. I always recommend picking the highest comp or picking somebody that's top rated plus or top rated. Because what that means is that person, actually, takes serious their business and what they're doing. And so then I'll do sell similar. And what that does, it saves you a lot of time because all the item specifics are already filled out.
Yep.
Now, you might have to change the size or some of those, but it's all there.
Yeah, change a couple of things. And the main thing that we're going to say with this is actually make sure you go through and change it. Because I have had at times in the past where we've done sell similar and there's maybe one thing in the item specific or condition that was different and we didn't change, and then it becomes an issue, right? So definitely you've got to go through, but it still saves you the time. And even when you're selling your own items, right? Like when I was listing a whole bunch of books, I was using sell similar because I was able to basically keep the same condition, just had to change the year, publish, right? So you can do like that too as well. So even if it's your own items that you're doing sell similar for, almost like making a draft.
Yeah.
Like make a generic draft one and then sell similar off
and
that.
So you're going down the template route. Like you can create your own templates. The reason I don't do templates is just, I just find it easier, especially because I sell a lot of collectibles, so it's not all the same. Right. So you got to do what works for you. Next is, set up your business and shipping policies. All right. So what you do is you go to your account and then you go to business policies. And so for shipping, right, I basically have like 5 basic ones. So anything that's first class, I've called it first class free. And so, anytime I have a clothing item that's under 16 ounces, it ends up being first class free. If it's a buckle for me, I set up a shipping policy that's first class paid. And so they pay $4 automatically for every buckle I have. If it's a pair of shoes, it's a medium priority. And so what that is, I charge them $13. Do I always ship in the medium flat rate box? No. Sometimes if it's in California or local, I sell it and I ship it in the shoe box, which might be $8. And so I end up making $5 on that shipping. Right. But it just streamlines things. It makes things a lot easier than creating a whole new shipping policy each time.
And it saves you time even with the decision fatigue, right? Because when you're like, how much do I charge for shipping on this? And if you're always charging in it, because I was doing that for a long time, this will probably cost like $8 a ship. So we'll do $8.99, and this will cost, yeah, once you kind of figure out, like maybe you lose occasionally on one or two if you're doing like that, but maybe you gain on one or two. But yeah, when you just don't have to decide every time, you just know like this size item is going to be, I'm selecting this policy, and you're just not thinking as much. And that's very helpful. The next one is photo setup over editing. And you do not, especially today with cameras on phones, you do not need to have a super expensive photo setup. You don't have to be a master photographer. I know a lot about photography because I do videography, but it's amazing that just with an hour of watching some YouTube videos on how to use a light box, how to adjust the brightness on your phone, it wouldn't even take that long, 10, 15 minutes. And what that's going to do for you is it's going to save you a lot of time post, right? Because if you can set it up and take 12 pictures of an item, that's going to save you time over taking 12 not so great pictures of an item. And then you're spending a bunch of time editing. Okay, I got to adjust the brightness on this. I've got to maybe remove backgrounds. And if you don't have it set up right in the first place, it's going to take you a lot longer.
Correct. And there are apps out there. Like I can use some apps that allows me to quickly remove the background and make it better. But my pictures would stand alone without that, right? And so maybe it's worth it to invest in a medium-sized light box or the large light box we have on our links on our Amazon things that we buy. But I have 2 large light boxes. I have 3 medium-sized light boxes, and yeah, I remember I used to spend all the time editing each picture, right? Because, and again, you got to do what works for you financially, but the investment gets paid back way faster because your items will sell for more. They may sell faster, depending on what you're selling because of your better quality pictures.
That's right.
Now, this is going to seem like common sense, but I would say improve your Wi-Fi speed.
Yeah, it helps. Obviously, having a better computer, having a better phone, because I've listed on older phones, but it's hard for me to talk on this one because I literally don't have Wi-Fi. I just use my phone, but I can attest to having an older phone that's got a bad battery and doesn't have as fast of connection versus a newer phone. It definitely makes a difference in how long it takes to list an item or to take pictures and all of those things. So I would,
if you're waiting for your pictures to load, like think about all the time you're wasting just while the thing's spinning. Right. So I strongly encourage you to up your Wi-Fi speed.
And then you can play all kinds of video games, stream high def, There
you go. I mean, it may be $20-$30 extra, but
well, especially if you start adding videos. We talked about that as being an eBay feature that's coming out. So if you start adding videos take a long time to upload. And so, yeah, you're going to want to have decent Wi-Fi speed in order to do that. And the nice thing is tax write-off.
Correct. You can deduct it. And the last one, you can hire out if you want to list faster, which, that has helped me immensely. I can double the amount of listings that I have now. So I may list, 20 items in a day, but if my helper already has 20 items ready for me to go and all I have to do is finalize them, that's another 20. So I have 40 items that I can list in one day. So, it's common sense, but if you definitely want to scale, I do think you have to hire out. I think it's very hard. There are some people out there that make crazy money, 6 figures on their own on eBay. I will tell you, I'm on my own. Right. And again, I do all kinds of it. I do Amazon, I do eBay, I do local deals, I do all kinds. And so what it allows me to do is maintain the amount of listings I have on eBay because I have a helper. So if I just stay focused on Amazon, I still got those eBay listings going on. If we got some local deals, I got other things to attend to, I still have that, helper helping out. So you want to scale, you want to list a lot more. I think a helper is the option.
That's right.
So, all right. So hopefully those tips helped you to list faster. And if you list faster, you list more. If you list more, you make more profits.
Cha-ching.
And with that being said, make sure to be real,
be relevant,
and be reselling leads.
Peace.